Artificial intelligence, I mean, it feels like it's absolutely everywhere, right? It promises to reshape our whole world. But as these smart machines get, well, smarter, a massive question looms over all of us. Who's actually writing the rules? That's exactly what we're going to unpack right now.
You know, AI isn't some far-off sci-fi movie concept anymore. Not at all. It's already woven deep into the fabric of our daily lives. We're talking about everything from the algorithms that pick your next favorite song to the incredible systems helping doctors spot diseases faster than ever. This isn't science fiction, folks. This is just the world we live in now.
And yeah, that brings us right back to the most critical question of all. With this tech just exploding in capability, we have to ask, who's setting the boundaries? Who is making sure these unbelievably powerful new tools are used safely, ethically, and for the good of everyone? That, right there, is the challenge of AI governance.
Okay, so to really get why we need these rules, we first have to appreciate just how widespread AI already is. I mean, it's not hiding away in some tech lab, it's humming along in the background of some of the biggest companies on the planet.
And look, we're not just talking about the usual tech suspects here. AI is optimizing every single delivery for giants like Walmart, and it's automating your drive-through order at McDonald's. It's the reason your Spotify and YouTube feeds feel like they read your mind. And in the really critical stuff, it's helping scientists discover new drugs and stopping bank fraud in its tracks. The scale is it's massive.
So no doubt about it, AI is powerful and crazy efficient. But with all that power, well, you know there's going to be some serious risk. There's a potential ghost in this new machine. And the spooky part is, it's a ghost we might be putting there ourselves.
This right here gets to the absolute core of the ethical problem we have to solve. See, AI systems learn from data, and that data, it's created by us, by humans. So what do you think happens when the data we feed these machines is full of our own historical prejudices and blind spots?
This quote just nails it. An AI doesn't have its own moral compass. It only knows the data it's been shown. So if that data is biased, the AI becomes this high-tech echo chamber, basically just screaming our worst tendencies back at us, but at a scale and speed we have never seen before.
And believe me, this isn't just a theory. This example is brilliant and honestly a little terrifying. Amazon built an AI to help with hiring, but here's the catch. It was trained on a decade's worth of resumes, which, no surprise, were mostly from men. So the system literally taught itself that male candidates were better. It even started penalizing resumes that had the word women's in them. Now, Amazon caught it and pulled the plug, but it's a huge warning sign of what can go wrong.
So how do we stop this from happening? How do we build an AI that we can actually trust? That's where a governance blueprint comes in. It's all about being deliberate, being intentional, and building responsibility into the system right from the very beginning. And AI governance is the official name for it. And listen, this isn't about slamming the brakes on innovation, not at all. It's about steering it in the right direction. It's the essential framework that helps us balance the incredible power of AI with our most important human values.
A really good way to think about governance is to see it as two halves of a whole. On one side, you have the big picture oversight, the financial, reputational, ethical, and legal stuff. Then, on the other side, you have the technical nuts and bolts, making sure the system is strong, effective, private, and, most importantly, unbiased. And you absolutely cannot have one without the other. They have to work together.
So how do companies actually do this? Well, it's a cycle, right? It's a continuous process. It has to start with looking at the risks before you even write a line of code, and then actively hunting for bias in your data. It means you have to bring in lots of different people, not just engineers, and treat data protection like it's priority number one. And here's the key. It's not a set it and forget it kind of deal. It's about constant monitoring to make sure that AI stays true to its original ethical goals.
Okay, building a responsible AI inside one company is tough enough. Now, just imagine trying to coordinate that across the entire planet, because that's the wild reality we're in right now, a global race to write the rulebook for AI. And right now, two major approaches are taking shape. You've got the European Union, which is going for a very comprehensive, top-down legal approach with its AI Act. They're basically sorting AI by risk level and slapping really strict rules on the high-risk stuff. Then you have the United States, which is trying a more flexible path, using voluntary guidelines and rules for specific industries like healthcare. They're trying to find that sweet spot between regulation and letting innovation run wild.
And it's not just a two-horse race. China has its own massive national strategy.
Canada's introduced its own laws. Singapore's pushing voluntary frameworks. And what's really interesting is that developing nations see this as a huge opportunity to leapfrog, to use AI to solve huge problems like the ones in the UN Sustainable Development Goals. The result? It's a complex, global patchwork of policies with no single rulebook for anyone to follow.
So where is all of this going? It's so easy to get caught up in the fears of AI taking over and replacing all of us, but a much more likely and frankly more interesting future is one where we collaborate with it. This is our augmented future.
Let's break down the future of work into two big buckets. First, you've got procedural work. Think of tasks that follow a clear pattern with limited choices, stuff like data entry or basic accounting. Yeah, those jobs are definitely right for automation. But then you have diagnostic work, which has infinite choices. This is the stuff that needs creativity, judgment, and serious problem solving, like a doctor diagnosing a rare illness. For these roles, AI won't be a replacement, it's going to be a super-powered assistant.
And that brings us to this really powerful shift in how we should think about all this. Maybe the ultimate goal isn't to create a perfect standalone artificial intelligence. Maybe it's about creating augmented intelligence, where the whole point of the technology is to enhance our capabilities, to make us smarter, faster, and better at what we already do.
So at the end of the day, as we write the rules for these smart machines, we're really writing rules for ourselves. AI is a mirror. It just reflects back the data we feed it, the values we teach it, and the biases we fail to see in ourselves. So the real question isn't about the machine, it's about us. What kind of reflection do we want to see looking back? That's the choice we all have to make.